Hey guys, I thought I would just share my day with getting the babies dressed, and this bag here is just like a Ziploc, nothing fancy, right? Basically, I store my more high-end dolls come in. I put the originals in Ziplocs, like his bracelet that came with him. This is one of his more outfits that was just for him. It's a blanket. I don't know what you call this, but it's not just a regular blanket. And then he has this little outfit. So I keep that in a Ziploc stored away. And if I put this on him today, I will take I won't do much with him. When they wear stuff like this, I don't even hold them a whole lot with that on. It's mostly just for pictures because, which reminds me, I don't want to really put this on him. I was, but I don't want to. Because I want to keep it crispy white. And I want to keep it crispy white. I don't want to have to wash it. It is Will and Beth. It's a very nice little outfit. It has his name on it. But I don't want to. I'll put it on him one day when I'm not doing all this extra stuff, because I'm going to do his hair and all that, and I don't want to get any fingerprints or anything on it. So I'll do that another day for you guys. But that's where I keep. That's how I store the original. I have a big suitcase box that came with one of my babies from overseas, and I use that for storage for blankets. And T Chambers wanted to know, where do I store my belly plates? When they're done, I use these bags that Claire Teller sends her babies in and their stuff in. And I take these, and I've been using these, and I put Serena's tummy plate in here. Pull a little drawstring, and then I just put it also in that little suitcase that's on the top shelf of my closet. So all the other babies, like my reborns, if I don't have a little baggie to put it in, they are too just there as well in the they are there as well in the closet, on the top of the closet. They may not be in a baggie, but they're on top of the closet, like laying on top of a blanket or something. I just make sure that they're not touching anything that would, get on it or anything. And there's his brush. His hair is just out of control, so I'm gonna do it. I haven't did much to it in a while, and it's lost its curl almost right there. So every now and then I'll do something to his hair, but not that much, because it don't take much, because I like his hair wild, and I like it to be look as natural as possible. I don't want it to look like he's been to a hair salon or anything. So, but I do like sometimes I like his little baby hairs to be laying out like they should. I'll turn this little head this way so we can get this side. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I love looking at him from the side. So I need his little edges and stuff to be right, and it's all about swirling that brush. No, it's no specific way to do these babies' hair. I just kind of move it around with my fingers. I don't do much combing in it. Um, Somebody was talking, I think it was Silicone Baby Josephine or something like that, was talking about how she got her baby and she didn't realize how soft the mohair can be and how she don't have to comb the baby hair. Um, I didn't learn this till later on that the rooting makes a big difference in how often you have to comb the baby hair and how bad it'll tangle, or if it'll, if it will tangle. If it's rooted, directionally rooted, like one hair at a time, it doesn't really tangle and it don't really mess up. So anyway, that's about all I'm gonna do to him right now today. I'll tell you guys a story about him. Yesterday, of course, I've been suffering not only with the cold, but a terrible migraine. And so my guy came over with gifts. And but not just that, but I'm gonna move you guys down here to Serena. But he came over with gifts, and he brought a friend of the family, and because he was in town, and so he came in. He's talking to my little 2-year-old and everything, and they're playing and everything, and so he's like, I had a kit, a doll kit downstairs, and he was like, my guy was like, what are you gonna do with that? And I was like, I'm gonna get it painted. And he's asking me, am I gonna try to paint it? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna try to paint it. So anyway, long story short, the guy was saying, I remember when she got her first one, because he was doing work on my house, and he was here when I got the first one. He actually seen it before my guy did. So my guy was saying, yeah, she got a lot more now, and da 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 da. So I go upstairs and I get Kingston. I come down the stairs, and as I'm coming down the stairs, he goes, oh man, he was like, you a grandma now? So he, my daughter's, my oldest daughter's Keisha, and he's like, Keisha had a baby. He was like, oh man, let me see that little boy, and all this and stuff or whatever. And so I'm just still not saying nothing, and I'm like, so I get him, and we're right there up on him, like this close on him, and he's like, man, he cute little fella. Let me talk to the little man and all this. He's like, hey, little fella. And so he's telling me and my guy, he was like, congrats. He was like, y'all grandparents now and all this and stuff. And so he touches Kingston's fingers. He's like, oh, and touching his fingers and everything and talking to him. And my guy was trying to get it out, but he was laughing so hard. He couldn't hardly get the words out. And then he was like, I'm actually going to store this now. So T Chambers, you'll see, I'll take it off. I'm going to take it off. But he was like, that's a doll. And he was like, still touching him or whatever. And he couldn't get it out fast enough because he kept laughing. So eventually he finally got him to hear what he was trying to tell him, that that Kingston was a doll. And it was so funny because he was like, oh shit. Excuse my French, guys. He's like, oh my gosh, you got me. I know you collect dolls. He was like, but that one, no man. He was like, how much it cost? And all this stuff. He's like, I want one of them. I'm gonna be riding it in the car with me. We're gonna be riding shotgun and all this stuff. And he's an older guy, so this was like really cracking me up because he's trying to sound all young and all that, talking about riding shotgun, right? And so he was like, he just kept going on and on about it, but he could not believe that he was not real. And it was funny because I don't know if it was because Kingston's been warm from me touching and holding him that day or what, but his hands were still kind of warm. So when he touched him, usually people will touch the silicone. The thing about the silicone is if they just touch it like this, sometimes they don't, it still feels real. It's only when you squish it normally is when they go, okay, that's not, flesh. You know what I mean? Um, but with the fingers, even if he touched it, it was funny. It was just hilarious because who's gonna take a baby and just squish it? When they're not gonna squeeze your baby, right? So people don't do that, and he didn't do that, so he didn't know, and he was just talking to him, getting all down on his level, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have recorded that. It was hilarious. But yeah, so let me show her. So this do have girl parts, so this tummy plate, I'll try to cover it up. There was a discussion about that on eBay, by the way. If you feel like artists is taking things too far by giving the dolls, the little girls girl parts, and if they go really detailed and put everything in the girl parts. I don't want to say all that. For the sake of the children, though, I just said a bad word. But yeah, this is how her tummy plate will lay in her thing, and I'll lay it out flat because this is silicone, so I would make sure that is laid out definitely flat, which I lay all of them out flat, but I'm even extra careful with my silicone one. Oh, wasn't putting this one back on. But anyway, yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, speaking of that, I know this is a long video and it's probably going to have a whole bunch of stuff in it. But if you guys can remember, tell me how you feel about dolls, and maybe I'll make that into a part of a tag or something. How you feel about, like full body silicones having anatomically correct and them having the boy parts. Do you want them to look realistic, or do you don't want them to look realistic? Do it bother you when you see them? Do you think it's going too far? Normally I'll wait and hear what you guys got to say, but I'm going to tell you my opinion on it. Now, when it comes to my reborns, I don't care. They can have it or not have it. It doesn't matter. Tummy plate, don't have to have it on a reborn because it's not going to look as realistic as it can be sculpted as realistic, but the whole transition of showing it is not really going to show that much or anything. So I don't care if they don't have one or not. For that, it's not a deal breaker. It don't matter to me at all. But when I have a full body silicone, it's not like it's a deal breaker. Now, I'll tell you, if it's jacked up, I don't really want it. I don't want it then, but I mean, if it's just basic and plain, that's fine. But if I'm paying what full body silicones cost, which is thousands and thousands of dollars, I want it as real as it can get. I'm trying to get you guys as close as I can to her while I'm getting her dressed. I want it as real as it can get, because I want everything. And one of the reasons that is really a big deal to me is because, I do a lot of changing videos, a lot of role play, and I just think that just adds to it. I know we always say, oh, I'm not going to show the parts and all this and stuff, but you do get a glimpse, and I don't want to have a just blank spot there. I don't know. To me, I don't know. I just want I want the full effect. I'm sorry. I want everything. So to some people that might be gross. I didn't realize that this was just a shirt, so this is really nice because I can put this with other things. I thought it was a onesie type deal, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, I want the whole shebang. I've heard other collectors say the same thing, but I'm just curious to know as a whole what the community thinks about that. I hope that all this talking that I've been doing, that you guys can hear me, because I promise I don't try to be low. It's just that I get this even like at work and with, people all the time when I'm talking to them, like especially at work. I get that a lot. I think I'm yelling and they're like, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. And they're like, telling me to speak up. And it's like, I try, but I just don't talk loud enough, I guess. I'll move you down a little bit, maybe that will help. Let's see. It's funny because when I look at her, right, from through my camera, everything looks really clear, but when I go back and look at the video once it's up, the video don't look so great when I use my phone. But I'm using this because I know this is going to be a long video and I could possibly upload it by using my phone. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know, everybody likes different things. This is what I do when I have the time, like when the baby is sleeping, the real baby is sleeping. I play with these babies. Sometimes when she's awake, if she's busy doing something else. But I try not to give too much time to my dolls when she's wanting my attention or needing my attention, because I don't want her to ever be jealous of the dolls, because right now she knows that I'm very protective over them and that I don't like people just bothering them, and so she doesn't touch them without my permission. I don't know if you guys seen that one video where she told Serena to put her dress down. If you notice, she hesitated before she touched her. What she did, which you guys couldn't see, she looked up at me for me to give her permission to go ahead and touch her. Now it's funny because she knows which dolls I don't mind her like touching, as far as she'll put the pacifier on the mouth or take the pacifier off. She knows which one she can. Kids are very smart. I think a lot of people underestimate them. They're a lot smarter than you think at a younger age. But yeah, she knows about that. But if I make her jealous of them, what little kids do, she will do little things to her when I'm not looking, because that's what kids do a lot of times. They will do stuff like that. So I try my hardest not to make her jealous of them. I don't want her jealous of the dolls. I really don't. Because it's really no reason for her to be, because of course she comes before the dolls. She is, and a lot of people, they're like, oh, I get that a lot of times too, that I care more about, I think I seen another collector said they got that too. They care more about the dolls than they do their real kids, and the kids going out. I remember somebody said that about me once on a video. I mean, not on a video, on a comment, that the kids, I care more about my dolls than my kids. I'm like, how in the heck do you know when you're not here? My kids don't give a rat tutti frutti about these dolls, one way or the other. Because they, if anything, as long as I'm playing with them, they'll come in and ask for something and they can get more because I'm distracted. And I might say yes. So, yeah, my kid's definitely not jealous of the dolls. I'm not worried about the dolls getting more. I'm not that type of parent. Um, it's like people are so quick to pass judgment. But when they're smoking their cigarettes and drinking their beer and doing all this extra stuff, I wonder if they think that they're taking away from their kids when they paying for their habit. They don't. Our hobby is not, hurting anybody. In fact, one of my kids, I don't care what she says, she secretly likes them because she always come to see what they look like when I get a new one, and she always got to say if it's cute or not. And then sometimes she'll tell me she don't like a certain outfit on them, or I should put this with that. So what does that say? You like her? Oh gosh, I didn't think about this. You can't, Leon Kingston, mess up his sheets, little girl. Her hair doesn't bleed, but I don't want the wet to be on it. So I'll lay that on her. And yeah, guys, you guys pretty much see my routine. I'm going to figure out what Kingston's going to wear, and then I'm going to be done with that. And once I figure out that, then I will probably do another video for you guys. But that is all for now. I know this has been a very long video, but